Many people start preparing for the PMP exam with good motivation. They buy books, enroll in courses, solve questions, and plan a study schedule. But after some time, they feel tired, overwhelmed, and sometimes even stuck. They start thinking, maybe PMP is not for me. In most cases, the problem is not a lack of effort. The problem is believing the wrong things about the PMP exam. In this video, I want to talk about 5 dangerous PMP myths that burn out PMP aspirants very fast. And more importantly, I want to explain how to think about these topics in a healthier and smarter way. So, if you are ready, let's get started. If you are new here, I am Sabri C. I run casePM Academy and Land Management Academy. For many years, I've been helping PMP aspirants prepare for the exam, and my online bestseller course has supported thousands of professionals in passing their PMP on their very first attempt. Okay, let's start with the first myth. The first myth is I need to memorize the PMBOK guide. This is probably the most common and most dangerous belief. Many aspirants think PMP is a memory exam. They try to memorize definitions, IDO lists, process names, and long explanations. After some time, their brain gets full and nothing sticks anymore. That's when mental overload starts. Here is the truth. PMP is not a memorization exam. Yes, terminology is important. Yes, you need to understand concepts, but PMP does not ask you what is the exact definition of this term. Instead, PMP asks, what should the project manager do in this situation? So, instead of memorizing, focus on understanding logic and mindset. Ask yourself questions like, why is this process done? What problem is trying to solve? What comes next and why? When you study like this, you use your brain in a natural way and that reduces stress a lot. Here, my golden tips can help you think the PMP way and approach questions with the right mindset. I put the link in the description below so you can check them out anytime. Now, let's move to the second myth. The second myth is if I understand the PMP mindset, I don't need to know the concepts. This myth sounds reasonable at first, but it is misleading. Yes, PMP mindset is very important, but mindset alone is not enough. PMP mindset means understanding how PMI expects a project manager to think and act in exam situations. It means focusing on being proactive instead of reactive, following processes instead of jumping to quick fixes, involving stakeholders instead of working alone, and choosing preventive actions over corrective ones whenever possible. It also means thinking from a servant leadership perspective, managing risks early, and always looking for the option that protects project value and the team. I explain all these tips clearly in my PMP exam prep course. However, to apply this mindset correctly, you still need to understand the concepts. You need to know the processes, roles, documents, and tools well enough to recognize what is happening in the question. Without that foundation, it becomes very hard to apply the mindset in the right way. That is why mindset and knowledge must work together. Concepts tell you what is happening, and mindset helps you decide what to do next. Now, let's talk about the third myth. The third myth is I should use as many resources as possible. This one is very sneaky. Some aspirants think using many books, many courses, many mock exams will increase their chances. In reality, it often does the opposite. Different resources explain things differently. They use different wording, different examples, sometimes even different logic. This creates confusion and self doubt. People start asking themselves which one is correct. They jump from one source to another instead of building confidence. So, more resources do not mean better preparation. Too many resources mean mental overload. A better approach is simple. Choose a small number of well-structured, exam-focused resources. For example, you can stick to one solid PMP exam prep course like my PMP exam prep course and PMI study hall for exam-style practice. Thousands of professionals have used my course to clearly learn all PMP concepts and understand the PMI mindset, and then use study hall to get familiar with how questions are asked in the real exam. When these two are used together, they complement each other very well. One builds understanding and the other builds exam confidence. There is no need to study from any other sources or overwhelm yourself with extra materials. Now, let's move to the fourth myth. The fourth myth is if I don't understand everything, I am not ready for the exam. This belief causes a lot of anxiety. Many aspirants think they must understand every topic perfectly before scheduling the exam. When they face difficult questions, they panic and think something is wrong with them. Let me be very clear about this. You will never understand everything perfectly before the PMP exam, and that is completely normal. PMP exam questions are intentionally written to make you feel unsure. The answer choices are very close to each other on purpose, and more than one option often looks reasonable at first glance. This is not a mistake in the exam design. This is the exam design. Ambiguity is a natural part of PMP questions because real projects are also full of ambiguity. Passing the PMP exam does not mean having perfect knowledge or zero doubts. It means being able to stay calm in uncertain situations, analyze the question logically, and choose the best answer based on PMI's mindset. Even very experienced project managers feel unsure when they solve PMP questions, especially at the beginning. That feeling does not mean you are unprepared. It means you are learning how PMI wants you to think. So instead of aiming for perfection, aim for consistency. Ask yourself simple but powerful questions. Can I read the question without panic? Can I identify what the question is really asking? Can I eliminate clearly wrong options and narrow it down to the best one? Can I think like PMI expects in that situation? If the answer to these is yes most of the time, then you are much more ready than you think. Now, let's talk about the fifth myth. This myth is the more hours I study, the better my result will be. Many PMP aspirants believe that long study hours automatically mean success. So they study late at night after work when they are already tired. They sit for 4 or 5 hours, but in reality, their focus is very low. This leads to burnout very quickly. Studying for PMP is not about how long you sit in front of the screen. It's about how focused and intentional your study time is. One focused hour is often better than four unfocused hours. If your brain is tired, it doesn't retain information. Instead, it creates confusion. And confusion is one of the main reasons people feel stressed during PMP preparation. So, here's a better approach. Study in shorter, focused sessions instead of long, exhausting ones. Take short breaks so your mind can reset and stay fresh. After each session, review what you learned to make sure the ideas are clear and connected, not just heard once. Most importantly, give your brain time to process the information because real learning happens when your mind has a chance to settle and organize what you studied. This is not laziness at all. This is smart studying. So, if you feel tired, overwhelmed, or stuck during PMP preparation, it does not mean you are incapable. In most cases, it means your strategy needs adjustment. PMP success is not about suffering more, it is about studying smarter, understanding concepts instead of memorizing, using fewer but better resources, and accepting uncertainty instead of fearing it. If you approach PMP with the right mindset, the journey becomes much calmer and much more achievable. Take a breath, trust the process, and remember Thousands of people felt exactly the same way before passing this exam. If they could do it, you can too.